my name is Rachel. Thank you for coming to watch my channel. Today I wanted to talk about young adult books. I wanted to talk about children's books that are becoming a problem for Christians. And I don't know that many people are aware of this. Every time I talk to somebody about it, they're like shocked and have no idea about books that are coming out that are either very woke, very liberal, LGBT positive, or teaching that, centered around that. So I just wanted to talk about that so that as a Christian, you can help protect your kids, keep your eyes open for things that you might think are concerning. So, okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about is called what's it called? Okay, We Were Promised Spotlights by Lindsay Sprout. That's what it looks like. There's a little fly there in the center, and it's like a glitter cover there. My daughter was given this book by her teacher to keep and take home. And so she took it, brought it home, was reading it, got to page about 12, and was like, ooh, this is not good. I need to stop reading this. So she came and brought it to me the next day, and she said, Mom, I was reading this book, and my teacher gave it to me, and it said something, it was like, she goes, it was a boy and a girl in bed together. And so I stopped reading it. And I said, okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to have a look at it. And then we'll go from there. So me and my husband sat down and reread the first chapter, 2 chapters. Within the first pages, it is horrible. And I looked at the title page. Okay. I don't know if it has it on this ebook because I had a real book. But the title page classifies this book as a children's / young adult book. Okay, so I looked up is this an adult book? Like, what is this book? So on the title page, it says it is a CYAC book. And so I didn't know what that was, so I looked it up online. And what that is a children's / young adult classification or collection or something like that. And so I was like, okay, why is this classified as a children's book? I understand the YA part. I get that. Why is it classified as a children's book? That is disgusting to me. So, let me read here. On the first page, they talk about a girl, a school-age girl, smoking in the bathroom. The next page, it talks about my boyfriend. I let him go down on me a month before in the back of his car, and a few days later, my vagina felt like it was full of fire ants. Okay, my 10-year-old who's in 5th grade is reading this. She was given this by her teacher. And I don't even blame the teacher, right? Because I'm not saying like the teacher needs to read every single book that she gives to the children. I'm mad at the publishing house for classifying this book as a children's book. That's ridiculous. And then it just continues to get worse. It talks about her wanting to like kill herself. It uses swear words. Then she starts talking about like having a crush on her girlfriend, and she's sleeping, like she has to sleep over at her girlfriend's house, and they are sleeping in the same bed, and they're talking about that whole situation. So when my daughter thought it was a boy and a girl sleeping in bed together, it was actually a girl and girl. It was worse than what she thought it was. Within the first chapter, it's disgusting. I cannot believe they classified this book as a children's book. Very upsetting. So I just wanted to let people know that, like, the schools, media, the cartoons, like, they are trying to attack our children. Like, what is the most wholesome activity your children can do, you think, is like read a book, but not even close. They are totally attacking children's nowadays. And like, that's why I have a hard time even reading like popular books that are out there nowadays, because this stuff is all in it. Like, you can't get away from it. So I've been really interested in reading Christian books and getting into that and enjoying that and loving it. I didn't even know like this genre existed. Like, I knew that there was books about Amish people, like those are everywhere and there's so many Amish books, but like those didn't interest me. I didn't want to read about Amish people. So anyways, that's why I've started getting away from secular books, secular YouTube, secular YouTubers who recommend books. Then I'm like, I don't want to read that book. I don't want to read that book. That's not a good book for me. That's not a good book for my soul. So yeah, anyways, be very careful the books that your children are reading. Let me find the other book my children brought to me just recently. Okay, this book is called Flamer. Okay, when my daughter, and it's by Michael Kuroto. When my daughter brought this to me, I was like, flamer. That was a term that we used when I went to school negatively for homosexuals. And so, not that I would ever use it. I'm just saying people use that term in a negative way. So, this book called Flamer, I'm like, are they really using this name in a book? And then it's a graphic novel, so it definitely draws your children to it, okay? Because anytime there's a graphic novel, a kid wants to read it. Like, if a teacher has a graphic novel in the classroom, almost every single kid is reading that book, okay? So, a graphic novel, and let's see here. Let's see if I can get a preview of it. I don't see where it's like they're calling it YA or whatever. But it definitely was in the YA section in our library. So yeah, so she had checked it out. And it is about a boy who's at camp and he falls in love with another camper, I guess. I don't know. I didn't read it. Oh, of course they talk about Jesus in here, and probably in a negative way. So this boy, he's at camp and he falls in love with this other camper. Let me read the thing for you. Okay, I know I'm not gay. Gay boys like other boys. And I hate boys. They're mean and scary, and they're always destroying something or saying something dumb or both. I hate the word gay. It makes me feel unsafe. It's summer. It's summer between middle school and high school, and Aiden is away at camp. Everyone's going through changes, but for Aiden, the stakes are higher as he navigates friendship, dealing with bullies, and spending time with a boy he can't stop thinking about. He finds himself on the path of self-discovery and acceptance. Okay, so this is a book that was in my library. It was very much so on, display, like, for kids, because it's a newer one, I believe. Yeah, I saw this and I saw the name and I was like, let me look at that book. And so, because she doesn't know, she's 14, she don't understand this kind of stuff. So I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, we have to return this because she had already checked it out. I said, it is an LGBT book, so we can't get this. And she's like, oh, okay, And so, yeah, it's just upsetting that all this stuff is being forced upon my kids all the time. And they're just trying to read a book. They're just trying to get a cool graphic novel to read. There was one more. Let me find it. Okay, so this book I found, I have Hoopla, which is a library book rental. And my daughter had like rented this book online, and it was a graphic novel. And so I was like, oh, who rented this book? Because it was on my account. And so I saw that she had, it's called Breath of Flowers. And so I was like, okay, well, this looks like a pretty book for a 14-year-old boy who has a crush on a girl. No problems, right? So I forget why I looked into it. I think I was just like, oh, I just want to make sure there wasn't too much sexual content in it for her. Okay, so this is what it says. Asme has always been attracted only to boys, especially the handsome Gwen. Intelligent, sporty, attractive, and just a little bit older than Asma. She's sure he would make an ideal boyfriend. Then, on the day Asma finally gets the courage to confront her feelings, everything she believes is suddenly called into question when she finds out that Gwen is actually a girl. Despite her initial shock at learning Gwen's secret, as Asme, Asme, whatever, quickly realizes that love transcends genders, putting her feelings for Gwen between her previous prejudices. But it turns out Asme isn't the only girl who got her eye on Gwen. So, yeah, this book, classified as children's genre, right there, children's. There was no standout indication that this was an LGBT book, besides like reading that. So that's why I say, like, you got to be careful. You got to be like active in what your kids are reading. You don't have to read every single thing. You don't have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. But if they are screaming out to you that like there's something not right, definitely look into it. At least read the book or the description of the book, and find that out. Like, I talk to my kids all the time about like cartoons that they watch that have sexual like LGBT stuff in it. I'll be watching it. The show is fine. There's nothing wrong with the show. And then all of a sudden they'll have like one episode where it's like they're trying to teach kids that LGBT is wonderful and blah, 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 blah. So I tell my kids when that happens, okay, you're not allowed to watch this whole TV show no more. It's trying to teach you that that's okay, and I don't want that for my kids. My kids at 7 don't need to be learning about that stuff. So we have like a list of shows that they can't watch, like The Loud House, Blue's Clues. Yeah, there's just, I can't think of any right now because they can't watch them anymore. But yeah, just know that what your kids watch, like, pay attention to it. You can't sit there and watch every single thing, but when you do see things like, that's a opportunity for us to talk to our kids about that sin. And so my kids know that it's a sin, and that's why my kids are able to come and talk to me about that sin and be like, hey, I read this, I wanted to let you know, because if I find out that they read something and they didn't come talk to me about it, then we're gonna have problems. So I always say, come talk to me about it and we'll deal with it from there. So yeah, it's just, I think the media, the TV gives us a ton of opportunities to talk to our kids about this particular sin. So there's no way your kids shouldn't know the basics of like man and woman. This is how God created us. I'm not saying you need to go into detail about it at all, but you should definitely be able to explain it to your kids in an age appropriate way. So yeah, if you guys have any other books to be looking out for, I would love to hear it. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm overprotective, if I should let my kids be watching this stuff, whatever. If you totally disagree with me and think I'm prejudiced, let me know that too, because I really don't care. If you do think I'm prejudiced, I'm trying to serve God, not you. So thank you for watching my video today, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.